Max 2.
Okay. I'm going to update for Max 1 while you're doing that.
Yeah. Hello, I don't know if y'all can see and hear me here, but right now we are tracking several severe thunderstorms going through the coastal bend, moving at a southeast mile per hour. We've got lots of severe thunderstorm polygons popped up. Main threat here is very large hail and winds above that 60 mile per hour criteria there. And so I'm just gonna leave it on this radar loop right now while I move over to my graphics to be able to show some different things. So we've got this Rockport polygon here, and I'm just going to go in and show what it's being warned for here. You see there's a lot of lightning here, hail size around 3 inches, and this is for east central Nueces and eastern San Patricio counties there. And it was located near Aransas Pass at around 7 p.m. here, moving southeast at 35 miles per hour, 3-inch hail that's very large, also being issued for 70 mile per hour gusts. Also being issued for 70 miles per hour gusts there. So if you are downstream of this, go ahead and seek shelter. Of course, this is something that is going to damage roofs, damage cars, and be extremely hurtful for people out there.
Hey, Hope, I just wanted to come in here and
let me hold on. Yeah.
You can hear it on your mic right now. This is Bill Churchwell. I had a friend send me a video. She's driving from Rockport to Gregory, and she is getting hail right now on her car. So we are seeing those local signs of hail. And again, she's going from Rockport to Gregory, but I wanted to come over here, Hope, and show you this video that we are seeing some instances of hail falling throughout the coastal bend.
Yeah, so that has been a storm that has, or a cell that has been issued since around 5:45, I believe. It was issued while we were streaming on 3 News Plus there, and while we were on air, we had some other warning box come up too. So I'm going to clear that one and show you where the other ones are issued right now. We've got one that has moved through Alice there. We'll put that one up. That one's got hail, not quite at 3 inches, but 2.5 inches there. So again, seek shelter. This is destructive. If you see that pink area there, kind of under where that lightning is, that's the hail core and the specific part of the storm that you'll be seeing these very large pieces of hail. And that's moving towards Kingsville right now. Max wind gust looks to be 60 miles per hour, so it's met both the hail criteria and the wind criteria there. For a severe thunderstorm warning to be issued, it's got to have hail around 1 inch size. That's typically what we call quarter inch sized hail, as well as winds around, I believe 58 miles per hour or over that, or a tornado that has been cited there. And so it's only one of these criterias to issue that severe thunderstorm warning, but a bunch of these are being issued for both wind and hail there, with hail being the bigger threat, being the most damaging. And here I've clicked on the one that is more southeast there, heading towards the coast. This has hail around 2 3/4 inches, lots of lightning, again moving southeast there. So again, all of these orange polygons, they're a little bit darker than the roads that you see there. Those are all where severe warnings are being issued. We've also got a marine warning out there here. I'm going to clear this and show this marine warning that is extended out from the Port Aransas area, and that's in effect until 8:30 miles per hour, and it's warned for those, or 8:30 p.m., excuse me, and it's warned for those 50 knot winds there, and high waves are expected. So of course, don't go out into the waters right now anywhere really along our coast areas. And if you are out there listening to this, to get back to the harbor. Again, large destructive hail, high waves, dangerous lightning. That's all for that area here. Now I'm going to just move this a little bit so we can see all these warning boxes. I believe we've got another marine warning out there as well, but you can see that that storm that's southerly there moving onto the coast. Let's see here, put out another one of our little weather alert things. So again, severe thunderstorm warning until 7:15 there, wind around 60 miles per hour. That is slowly moving onto the coast and offshore there. That is going to be southeast of Kingsville. Of course, we've got another one moving towards the Kingsville area, that polygon around Alice right now. That hail core is tracking towards the Kingsville area. That's for 2.5-inch hail, 60 miles per hour wind. This is a considerable threat. All of this hail, 2 to 3 inches, it's going to cause lots of damage, but the most important thing is people and pet safety. So definitely make sure that you are moving inside into an interior room, away from, windows or anything that can be broken. Roofs are expected to get damaged from this here. Now going back to this Rockport storm, or the one that is nearing Port Aransas here, it's got a large hail core. This is our 3-inch hail size one that has really been the one that has been the strongest for the longest in terms of that hail here. So I'm going to turn on the hail tracking so you can see it. You can see all those blue and pinks right there. You can see that's where some hail has fallen from these storms. And again, it's right where you see that hail core part of this cell that is tracking, and it helps give you a better sense of the actual direction that this hail in particular is tracking towards. You may get the wind from a larger portion, but this hail is more narrow within the hail core, at least the largest parts of the hail there. So I'm just gonna continue to loop that. But again, this is dangerous conditions out there, and if you're are able to, if you're driving, able to pull over into and go inside somewhere just to be out of it. Cars are going to get damaged from hail this large, but there's not much you can do about that unless you're able to put it inside a garage or a area of shelter or something like that. So again, these storms are tracking southeast, and they're moving towards the coast there. This hail core looks to be coming towards Port Aransas right now. Now, if I pause it, we can look at to see about this particular one that is around Port Aransas right now. People and animals should move indoors. Expect shattered windows, extensive damage to roofs, sidings, vehicles. This is all from the National Weather Service. I'm reading the alert out loud right now. But to see, I believe it says that it is tracking southeast at 20 miles per hour. So to look at our little 20 mile per hour button, of course it's almost out at the coast there, but that warning, it should be off the coast rather soon there. That warning, I believe, does expire. Let's see when it expires here. Hold on. Until 7:45. So these are nearing their way offshore, which is a good thing. Of course, we've got the one out to our west in Kingsville. It's got further to go to get offshore there. So I'm going to clear absolutely everything here.
Seeing 70 winds into Port Aransas right now. 70 mile per hour.
70 mile per hour winds. That's Alan here.
Gusts.
Yeah, 70 mile per hour gusts there. That criteria again has been met. 58 miles per hour or over for a severe thunderstorm to severe thunderstorm warning. So this is just south of Port Aransas there. Let's do some zooming in. As you can see here, this large hail core. I'm going to turn off the lightning. Of course, lots of lightning associated with it, but you can see it looks to have just passed over Ingleside and Ingleside on the bay there, where you can see all that dark purple and pink. That is where the largest hail threat, that's the hail core of the storm. And of course, we also have that wind around 70 miles per hour also in effect there. So let's see, play this again. You can see the path of that, the hail core is more narrow there, but anybody in the path of the storm should seek shelter. I mean, if it hasn't reached you yet and you have time to move inside, any decorations or anything out there on your porch, that's a good thing to do definitely there. But the main thing is to get inside, seek shelter, especially if it's over you. Don't go out driving right now in these areas downstream from the storm. You can see that they're moving southeast. And you know, it's hard to kind of even decipher the difference between these roads and these polygons right now because they are just pretty much everywhere. It looks like that hail core or that cell that's passing through Kingsville right now, that hail core is going to pass west of Kingsville there, moving to the south. Let's see. Okay, again, Kingsville, Rivera. This is in Jim Wells in Clayburgh County. Yeah?
Let me take control
Yep.
of that computer. You stay here. I'm going to get the polygons to be a different color so it doesn't
Blend in.
but I'm
On
going to take control of your...
Max 2? Yeah.
so just
Okay.
have them,
Alrighty, so Alan is actually here working behind the scenes. He is going to come and take control of this computer he has right now. So I'm just going to continue talking. He's going to make the polygons stand out a little bit more, be a different color than orange so that we can see it. Again, a lot of these are on their way out of the out to the Gulf, but it's still extremely dangerous if you are in these coastal areas right now. Definitely get inside. Don't go driving around this area. It's damaging to houses, to roofs, extremely hurtful to people if you were to be outside. So don't go stepping outside, taking pictures, you know, actually in the storm. Take it from inside your house. But again, it can shatter windows, so don't be too close to windows. There we got that one changed to yellow right there. It's a little bit easier to see. Still loading right now while Alan gets this back up and going. But the main thing is that we wanted to pop on here and make... Yeah, so he's having to take control to load this up so that we can all see that there. There is the yellow there. We've got yellow for Kingsville area. So he has highlighted the ones that are actual severe thunderstorm warnings and not just the marine warning there. So the orange polygons that you see are for the marine warning. Thank you, thank you.
I did only save this graphic in the data set, so if you get off to another one, you may have to start saving off of this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And if you need to know, it is in the warnings right here, this border. If you want to change another one, click that.
Yeah.
And right here, see how right here, you'll just search and then my name right there.
Okay.
That'll be the yellow polygon.
Yeah, y'all are hearing in real time me learning. Of course, I am still new to working here, and so I'm learning still some of the tricks of the trade on the radar here, but Alan has come in to help track these storms as well. So yeah, the yellow separates from the orange and the roads pretty nicely there. That bright yellow is where we see those severe thunderstorm warnings. Now I'm just gonna pop back up some of those warnings here. Let's see. Okay, that Kingsville storm has been issued until 8. Again, hail size 2.5 inches, but the wind speed is less than 50 miles per hour right now. It's affecting Clayburgh County and southwestern Jim Wells County until 8 p.m. It's moving southeast at 30 miles per hour. So if we do what we did before and we stop this, zoom out here, we can use one of our let's see. I'm going to play this again, figure out which one to use here. So it's moving at about 30 miles per hour here. We'll see what, oh, sorry, messed that up. I think I started that too early for the storm. Let me pause this, or too late for the storm. Go back here. This is just the outer edge here of the storm, what it's at presently. This is my best estimation of the direction it is heading in. But as you can see here, it's popped up some locations up there that it's heading towards. So Loyola Beach around 7:30, but it looks like that core will pass to the west of it. So yeah, this is just something, if you're in these areas out driving around, or you live downstream of this in the path of these little boxes here, to just be aware of it and to seek shelter. It looks like another one has popped up. Or no, this was the one we were already monitoring, sorry. This little yellow one, I think it's moved locations here. Of course, they're all yellow, but that hail core looks to be moving off. You see it here. There it is. There's that hail core. If we add the hail tracking here, you can see that southeasterly direction that they all have had in that southern part of the storm here. And it's largely moved off into the Gulf, but that hail core is still on land there. Going back over to the one, Port Aransas, hail core almost offshore there, still a little bit on land, but let's see that those wind speeds here. I'm gonna play this radar loop for you guys. Turn off the hail tracks. Yeah, still 70 mile per hour wind there. You can see the brighter green, that stronger winds. Let's see if I can. Oops. Thank y'all for bearing with me on this. I wanted to jump on and get y'all the information, but this is, you know, wanted to jump on, but still kind of new to some of the different radar products on here. I just... Ah, crap.
You got this. You want me to control it so it helps you?
Yeah, I just, the winds.
Okay.
Wait.
I can do
So Alan is going to take control there. He is going to show, we're going to show some of the wind speeds associated with these storms here. Again, that brighter green, that's the stronger winds. Turning off, or we're turning back on the yellow boxes there that you can see the severe thunderstorm warning issued. And take a look and see if anyone has any comments on the stream right now. We've got people sending in. If you can hear that, that's hail from Ingleside that was sent in around 30 minutes ago. So again, this is something that people are really seeing. Alan is highlighting a spot there that he has circled. Okay, you can see there gusts at around, or the wind is at 47 miles per hour there with our velocity. Heading over to that storm that is near Kingsville, we're going to look there to see the stronger velocity, around 39 miles per hour. So this isn't, I believe, is not the gusts, but this is just the winds currently that we can see. Moving back over southeast of Flower Bluff, 45 miles per hour. So again, regardless of the gusts, the wind is strong in these areas as this storm does move through. Likely to see, you know, any Halloween decorations that were left up to blow over in this, even, you know, trees and different limbs from trees to come down with this too. So, but the biggest threat again was that hail core. It looks like for the storm, the hail core south of Port Aransas, that's mostly off land right now. Same for the storm south of it as well, that is nearing the coast. Again, that Kingsville storm there highlighted in yellow. South of Kingsville is the hail core there. There's that one south of Port Aransas, northeast of Flower Bluff is that hail core. Largely, the biggest portion of it has moved off into the water. This is one of the reasons why the marine warnings were issued, because of the large hail and the stronger winds as well, larger waves because of the stronger winds. That is dangerous for any boats to be out there currently. We've got Alan timing out when this storm is going to be off land right now and into the Gulf, or at least I think the hail core part of it. I think that's what he's doing. Oh, well, he pulled up the hail tracker. So that spot in the middle, that's where the largest hail fell. And then we've got, you can see how it's moved. It looks like there was an orange area there. But yeah, we're specifically trying to track the timing of the hail, I believe, is what he is trying to do. Now, Alan is not sitting next to me. He is in a different room, so we aren't necessarily communicating right now. I'm watching what he's doing and trying to narrate it. So we've got that hail core, the center of it, that he has expanded out there. So 753 Rivera, 754 Nanny Elementary School. So if you are located in any of these areas, that hail core is coming towards you here.
If you need me, just text me.
Okay,
Yeah.
You're gonna head out?
No, I'm gonna be over there.
Okay.
But it's delayed from what I'm hearing.
Oh, okay.
On Facebook Live.
Yeah.
So yeah, but whatever you need, just if you're ready to take control, tell me whatever you want to do. Am I going too fast? We good?
Yeah,
Is it on?
yeah. Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear it on this. We're good. Let me hold on. Can we switch off of this scroll lock? Like
Yeah.
this? Yeah. Okay, now I can hear you. Yeah, good. Yeah. Looks like, can you let everyone know that it looks like it missed the Dia de los Muertos and all that? Like,
Yeah. So the particular cells that we are tracking right now, it didn't look to go through downtown Corpus Christi. That initial line of storms that I was tracking in the 6 o'clock news, the middle part dissipated there, and that would have been the cell that would have been the most likely to track towards Corpus Christi and the downtown area. So that has missed that, or that dissipated, and so we didn't see downtown Corpus Christi get affected with this. So that's amazing, really, because that's an area of a lot of people that were outside tonight. Just looking up to our north, we've got Alan that is circling some other storms there, and that they are also heading southeast. So we are not out of the woods yet. We, if these storms continue to hold their strength and come down into the coastal bend, we'll see some more storms come in. I think he's got the severe warnings turned off real quick, but I'm gonna check to see if any of those are warned. The one near Victoria is warned right now. That is, again, north of us. But looking back at that Kingsville storm here, it looks like Ricardo is just east of that hill core there. Might be seeing some of that stronger winds. You can see that hail come on in there. Kind of a funny looking animation there when it's running. Almost 3 inches in that red, the really middle part of it there. So again, hail cores are a lot nearer than the entire span of the storm. So some people may see the storm and not see all of that hail there with it, or the largest pieces of the hail there. And so I believe Alan is going to time it out for the red pieces of the storm. There we go, doing our best to estimate the exact direction that this is going, obviously southeast, but here we have Alan looking at it. It looks like maybe 13 or so minutes it gets to Rivera, or less than that actually. Less than 10 minutes that it gets there, although that looks to be east of that really that red spot on the hail there, but it will still see some hail in that area. So if you are tuning in from Rivera right now, go ahead and just make sure that everybody is inside, pets that may be outside or inside as well. If you have a garage and you could park your car under it, go ahead and do that, or any sort of shelter for your car. That would be the best thing to do, because again, this hail is very large. That red piece was 2.7. Alan is showing the wind here again. There's that storm, the big swath there. Again, red here shows that it's moving away from the radar. So that this is why it's red. Green is it's moving towards. So velocity around 40 miles per hour there. So again, that's your wind speed that you'll be seeing as the storm comes through, some of the stronger winds associated with that storm there. here Alan is highlighting that warning box again with that yellow. You can see the storm there, lots of lightning associated with it as well. This severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 8 p.m. tonight for this particular area that is outlined with that yellow line there.
We can, no, you keep doing it. Yeah, well, I'll just say, hey, yeah, so we've got clearly some pretty gnarly storms out there. You're doing a great job. We're looking at the radar, and we'll pull it back up here. That storm, it's got some 2 to 3 inch hail in it, so we're trying to get Rivera up to speed. The other two that we've been watching, those are offshore now, so
Yes,
we're not terribly worried about those anymore. Of course, if there's any boating or marine stuff going on, you don't want to be out there. But yeah, you're doing a fantastic job talking to everybody through these. These are big storms. Mm-hmm. Yeah, hail's been crazy.
Yeah, I think earlier it was like baseball. I think that's what 3 inches is, or
3 inch,
baseball sized, which can sometimes be hard to imagine when they give inches of diameter for storms. So that's why we give the objects that you can visualize in your head, ping pong, tennis ball, baseball. We saw that storm that is now offshore, the most northeast storm there. We saw that while on air go from ping pong to tennis ball, or maybe just a little bit before air. But in the span of a very short period of time, it went from ping pong size hail that they were warning for to tennis ball to baseball. So again, since those have moved offshore, we are focusing back on this one that is heading to Rivera, trying to give them just a little bit of leadway if you are tuning in from Rivera there. You can see, again, that pink, a lot of where you see a lot of that lightning, the stronger part of the storms, that pink indicates, the higher reflectivity there indicates hail. And so we've got the hail tracker up there. You can see the pinks and the reds, that's going to be larger hail that we are viewing. And it might just miss, the center of Rivera to the west of it. Turn back, go full graphics here. Around 3 inches right there where you see almost that maroon color there. So again, baseball-sized hail, if you can imagine that. That's very scary, very damaging. You want to stress that if you're downstream of this red area, to get inside. Right now we like to see videos and pictures, but we don't want that to threaten safety, so definitely get inside. If you can take it from your inside the house, that's great, but again, this can also damage windows and stuff. And with the winds that we are seeing too, if it's blowing, in a certain direction, we could, you just don't want to be standing too close in case that window does break. And of course, we're expecting, damage to shingles on roofs, damage to cars. So if you're also downstream of it, and you can get your car under cover right now, that would be the best thing to do. Or if you have one of those hail protector blanket things that you could go lay out. Here's Alan, he's showing the hail sizes and what we compare things to. So 2 inches and 3/4, that's baseball size hail. The next ball up would be softball at 4 inches. We haven't seen anything quite that large. We're pretty much sitting at 3 inches being the max that we've seen for the hail size right there. But that 1 inch mark around that quarter, that's where it starts getting issued for a severe thunderstorm warning. That's where we can start seeing some damage there. So of course, with these being rather massive, 2 inches bigger than a quarter, we are wanting to make sure that everybody is aware of this heading towards the area and the damage that could occur from this. But we want to make sure that everybody's getting inside and being safe with this. These are moving southeast right now. Yeah, they're moving southeast there, but you can see the hail core is one pocket there. We've got it changed back to a yellow border so we can differentiate between the streets and that thunderstorm warning. You can see the reflectivity there. Again, the pink is higher reflectivity. That's going to be your hail, and you know, the reds, the oranges, that's also higher reflectivity. So you see the stronger the storm when you have those brighter colors there, and you see the lightning mostly in the area around that hail core and around where the red is there. Even though the storm itself can spread over a larger area, not all of the storm is even in what it produces and shells out for the ground there. You see that maroon area shrunk a little bit, but still hail size almost 3 inches there. Now let's see exactly how fast it's been moving here. I believe that's, you know, west of, let's see, don't want to say the wrong highway name. Yeah, west of 77 there, most of that, the hail there, but some over that road as well, so you don't want to be driving through this right now, passing through the area. There's all the lightning that's occurred within the warning box, so lots of lightning for this, definitely loud, probably scaring some dogs. Here's the cloud tops. So this is essentially showing how high the clouds are getting, and so the brighter the area again is the highest, and that's going to have the most convection and the stronger part of the storm right there. And so you can see or at least the highest cloud tops with all the convection there is going to pass through Rivera and the orange there. Checking out, you know, the comments on some of the things we see and seeing pictures of hail that looks about ping pong size hail. Not sure exactly where that is sent from, but people are picking it up and showing us. It's definitely cool to look at, but don't go outside while it's happening to do that. Wait till it has passed. All right, we've zoomed back out here. Already turned my mic off there, but I'm back. We're focusing in on this storm that is near Rivera there. Hail size around 2 3/4 inches, wind speed less than 50 miles per hour. This is what we were seeing when we were throwing up velocity there. But again, that's very destructive hail. You want to make sure that you are getting inside. It looks like that the hail core is passing a little bit east of Rivera. I don't know if that, where the Rivera name is at the center of it, but it is on the, not east, I'm sorry, I mixed up my directions, west of Highway 77 right now is where most of that hail is falling here. Lots of lightning with this, so dogs are probably going to be scared here. Just looking at comments, and you know, people are saying that it didn't come for Corpus Christi, which is a good thing with the street festival happening right now. I'm going to turn that lightning off so that you can see a little bit more of that high reflectivity, that pink area. That is the area there with the largest hail there that we are seeing. Play that loop here. Gonna zoom out again. Again, the other two storms that we were watching have exited, so we are just trying to get Rivera through this. I believe those severe thunderstorm warnings have expired too, and it's mostly just marine warnings now. So it's definitely not a time that you want to be out on a boat. That all those people that are out have hopefully moved back into the harbor here. So let's see. Pause this. I'm attempting to see the speed of this right now. Of course, actually, The warning should have the speed there. Oh, well, they've just issued another warning right before our eyes there for downstream of the storm as it continues moving. The National Weather Service is updating those polygons to show where the new threat is there. So that those people in that box still have some time there. Let me look to see. Again, warning for wind speed around 60 miles per hour gusts and 2 3/4 inch hail there. That particular box is for north central Kennedy County. Baseball sized hail, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. If you're downstream of this, get everybody indoors. Make sure any animals that may have free range outdoors are back inside for this. Also, one thing we haven't been talking about with all this lightning, that is very dangerous too. If you're not under an area with the hail core, the lightning is very dangerous. You know, a lot of times people want to be outside taking pictures, a little bit harder with it being dark. But if you see your hair turn up, that's a get inside immediately type thing, because you don't want to be outside during lightning. You don't want to be the tallest object around you in the area. All right, I'm going to continue to play the loop there. National Weather Service says that the storm's moving at about 20 miles per hour. So get out. I'm going to pause it and try to time out the storm as it's moving. Trying to get some of the leading edge of the heavier part of that storm. Let's see, for this to be offshore here. It's saying around 9/11 for Padre Island National Seashore as it progresses there. And the power plant.
So it looks like Rivera's almost done with it.
Yes. Yeah. Some of that hail core passing over it, I believe, right now.
Great advice on telling people to stay in, not trying to get out and take photos. That's excellent advice.
Yeah, even if the hail isn't one of the threats,
Yeah.
the lightning is going to be a threat.
We're getting reports out of the Portland area that there's some damage to windows, and that's a given when you have baseballs falling from the sky. Mm-hmm. So. I think we've got a crew headed out to Ingleside, GP area to see if we can, just see some of the aftermath there. I know Bill Churchwell's anchoring tonight. He was asking, and it's not over. It looks like we've got an additional round coming in after this one.
Yes,
so we were talking about that morning up in Refugio County.
Yes, yeah. So, again, another look at Rivera there, getting some of that larger hail with that hail core right there.
Some gusty winds there too. It looks like the wind is now south of Rivera, but 50 to 60 on the gusts in Rivera. Sarita checkpoint also, that's south of Rivera into northern Kennedy County. Sarita is, if you go to, South Padre, things like this, the Sarita checkpoint is where the Border Patrol is, and they'll stop you and you have to get out, or you don't have to get out unless you're doing something bad, I guess. But, you have to show them your ID, you go through. But it's a familiar spot to people in the area because everyone's got to stop at that checkpoint in Sarita. So I mentioned that because that's where the gusty winds are going right now. It's just to the south of Rivera on, Interstate 69 or Highway 77, whatever you want to call it right there. Looks like it changes over from 77 back to Interstate 69 in Kennedy County. And those strong winds are going right into the Sarita area now. So Rivera, I'd say probably getting through with the worst of it. There could be what? You were saying there was some pretty big hail in Rivera.
Yes, yeah. We were looking earlier, it was close to 3 inches. Let's see. How do I get back to the hail tracker?
Yeah, so the hail's just south of Rivera right now. That's really close to Sarita. Really close to Sarita, and that's very, very large hail. That's destructive.
Over 3 inches hail right there.
Yep. Let me try to see if we can pop Sarita up on the map. I guess it won't pop up, but Sarita's about where that 69E badge is on the map.
The first one. Right?
Yeah, the tops. So Sarita is going to be into this area, just to the east of this hail core, but probably getting significant hail right now. We can check and see. We're not going to go to the biggest stripe of the hail core, but 1 inch hail, that's still severe level hail falling in Sarita, even though the hail core, the gorilla-sized hail, is west of 69. So, for example, let's say you've got somebody traveling up from the valley right now, or you're thinking about going southbound. It's not a good idea to travel around on, from Kingsville to the valley. You do not want to be on that road right now. Hail that big, your car is going to be damaged, your windows likely blown out. You just don't want to be on the road in a scenario like that. So the people driving probably aren't watching us right now, but if you have a friend or family member that is driving and you need to tell them, send them a text. Send them a text. Hail this size, it's not good, especially on the road. It's just not good. And there's not a whole lot. I know there's not like street lights out there on the interstate in that part of northern Kennedy County. It's very rural, so the visibility is already terrible. And then a storm like this on top of that, it's just, you don't want people driving around in something like that. So just want to give the heads up, because that is a gnarly little storm right over Sarita, south of Rivera in northern Kennedy County. Yep. Sorry if I have Whopper's breath. There was some Halloween candy over there, and I had some Whoppers. So, yeah.
Helping us get through this.
This is what we do as weather people, help people get through storms. Mm-hmm. Thankfully, man, that storm that passed just north of downtown Corpus Christi, that could have been really bad at Dia de los Muertos. So they probably got the gust front, so the winds probably picked up, that rain-cooled air rushing out of it. But that storm, we don't want to see these hit anywhere. I'm just thankful that it didn't hit a place like the Dia de los Muertos
There was
Street
even one that
Festival.
passed just south of it, too.
Yep.
And I was saying earlier during the newscast that there was a cell that looked like downtown Corpus Christi would be in its tracks, but it dissipated. So we got really lucky for all those people that would be outside and celebrating tonight.
Yeah, there's that storm you're talking about. This is earlier. We're looking back. That's 6 o'clock. So that one passed just south of the city. And then that storm, I know Leslie Adamy posted something to Facebook showing how that storm, it barely clipped Sinton. Same time that's happening, Alice also got hail. I got some photos on my page, and Alice was getting hail. That's at 6:40. And this is when I was starting to get worried about, sometimes they're right movers is what we'll call them. So as they start ingesting air and the updraft gets really strong, they'll want to bend to the right of their forward motion. So when that storm in Sinton was moving southeast, I was worried about it curling more south than east, but it didn't, for the sake of the Dia de los Muertos people down there. However, Gregory, Portland, Ingleside, Aransas Pass taking a direct hit from that storm just after 7 o'clock, right around 7 really. Then over Mustang Island, Port Aransas, and finally back out into the Gulf. But you're right, Corpus Christi, Hope, we missed a lot of this. I know people always say it always misses. This is a case where I don't think anybody wants to be dealing with 2 to 3 inch plus hail, so oh, look at this. This is some meteorology right here. This is called, what I'm seeing, this little feature off the storm. So this is really cool stuff from a meteorology point of view. So the radar site here is sampling the storm, the beam, and you see how this little tail's coming out the end of the storm? That's called a triple body scatter spike, and that's a telltale sign that there is hail in a storm. So we don't even need the hail product. When we see these triple body scatter spikes, this is it. This feature, that's the triple body scatter spike. And what that is basically saying is that the radar, it's even black right in there. There's some big hail in this storm near Sarita. But what that scatter spike is indicating is that the radar is sampling the storm in here. The radar beam is then going to the ground, back up, and then to the radar. And so it's giving a false return in a longer fashion off that same direction. So the beam's coming in, hitting the storm here, going to the ground, back up to the storm, and back to the radar, and it's giving that false return. And that's that triple body scatter spike, which is, we don't see hail this large here terribly often. And so, yeah, this is getting to the point where if you're on 69, that's a ruiner of your vehicle if you're hitting this storm. So I'm hoping people are not on the road right there. That's significant hail. That's over baseball. That's getting
closer to softball.
Yeah, between baseball and softball sized hail. So very large and dangerous hail over 69 in northern Kennedy County. Just gonna zoom it back out here. So that's really, we're focusing on that one now because for the coastal bend, that's the most significant storm on the board. There are additional ones coming in, but we want people to be as safe as possible, and if we can alert someone, one person is enough. If we can say, hey, we turned around because we saw this on your live stream or whatever, that's the whole entirety of our job right there. So if you're going southbound on 69 or coming up from the valley, if you want to avoid this for at least the next hour, because it's also moving somewhat southeast, so it's going to take some time. I'm just scrubbing the radar. It's kind of it's doing that right mover thing. Remember we talked about that? Yeah, so that's that right moving type of movement. So you'll see it when it passes Rivera. It's got that southeasterly movement, and then it almost mirrors Interstate 69 in that right bend. So the road is really showing us exactly the track of it, and that's what I was talking about with that cell in Sinton. I didn't want to see this happen with the storm coming toward Corpus Christi, but interesting to see real time. We were just referencing right moving storms. This one right over. Oh man, yeah. I really hope no one's driving on Interstate 69 in Kennedy County. That's not good. That is not a good storm. Very rural area, so we're not talking a lot of structural damage with this one, but if you're driving and you're unaware, that's bad news.
Oh, people.
Yeah, people running around the newsroom.
Yeah. I was like, it's not raining.
Yeah. Could be some gusts around. Now we're going to have to deal with maybe some outflow boundary type stuff, but there's more up to the north. So also, if you ever want to get back to the yellow polygons, this one is saved with those on them, but it doesn't have the DMA view, so you just have to pull that up every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like Refugio County
is,
Yep.
You got another warning box there for the northeastern part of it. I think this was warned. This one was warned in Victoria as it's moving southeast through that. It's still got that. We're going to zoom in right here. Kind of along Highway 77 as well. It's got some hail associated with it. I think a smaller portion of it. But yeah, we saw one of the first storms that was baseball-sized hail go through B and Refugio County, and so it now looks like the northeastern part of Refugio may see some more hail here. Hail size smaller, around a quarter size for your hail. This is the threshold for issuing a severe thunderstorm warning. That wind speed there less than 50 miles per hour. So there are three things that three criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning. One of them is hail of an inch or greater, wind, I believe greater than 58 miles per hour, and a tornado. So, and only one of those criteria has to be met for a severe thunderstorm warning to be issued there. That northern box there disappeared. That was, got another one here. Or maybe I was just not looking in the correct. But yeah, we see it moving along Highway 69 here. That high reflectivity being that hail. Lots of lightning associated with this. So definitely get inside if you're downstream from this. Get inside, get pets inside. Going to likely be loud with thunder and lightning. We mentioned that it was taking more of a southerly curve there, so it's going to take a little bit longer to get offshore. Let's see. Warning for 2 3/4 inches and this is until 9 p.m. today. This one south of it until 9:15 there. Here's a zoomed out look. A lot of it heading out into the Gulf. But you can see that we're starting to see some other cells. They're not severe warned, but starting to enter into Live Oak as well, up to the northwest there. All right, turned off my mic for a quick second there, but I'm back. Zooming into the storm down south again. Again, kind of following the route along 69E there. Got our hail tracker here. Gonna pause that. Zoom in this darker color. That's where the larger hail is. You see 3 inches there in that burgundy, in the orange here. Yeah, around the same size. that we are getting picked up. But you know, some of this pink, still rather large. All of this damaging, around 2 inches. The white here, just giving you a different look at this. You know, the white here, that's below the severe warning, below 1 inch there, but still going to see some hail, even if you're outside the specific core of that. But the most dangerous is what you're going to see in the pink there. Even the dark blue, that's around 1.5 inches there. You can see those 3 storms that we've tracking, the first 2 that are now offshore, taking a direct southeast path. This one turning more to go down 69 east, so taking a little bit longer to get offshore as it turns. And this is, again, the hail that we are watching move. Now you can see the storms in Victoria, smaller hail there, but that's where some of this is warned up in northeastern Refugio as that storm starts to make its way on in. Just checking to see if we have any comments from the live chat. Don't believe I see any right now. One thing we've been noting is that Corpus Christi got lucky today, and we didn't see those storms head towards the downtown, towards the Dia de los Muertos festival, which is a really good thing because that would have been a place where a lot of exposed cars, a lot of people. Of course, we don't like to see it hit anywhere, but that certainly is an answered prayer that we saw there. Again, this storm that is south of Rivera, tracking along 69E, that southernmost box here is issued until 9:15. So hail almost 3 inches. If you're downstream of this, again, get inside. Extremely damaging. Get into an interior room, especially if wind blows hail to hit a window. We don't want to see anybody getting hurt from a window getting broken either. So I'm going to zoom out too, because this is, making its way into Kennedy County in rural areas there. But if you look back up north, we've got the storm that has passed through Victoria, again moving southeast there. We've got a warning box that has clipped the northeastern area of Refugio County. Hail size around 1 inch, so that's around quarter-sized hail, so it's not as damaging, extremely not as damaging as 2 to 3 inch sized hail, but definitely something that is still severe and is still damaging, so you still want to make sure that you're not going to be out driving in this right now. So we're going to look to see, you know, the direction that this storm is moving. Moving southeast at around 30 miles per hour here. I'm going to pause this at its now, and it's looking to turn more towards east a little bit there, but you can see it's moved southeast here. Trying to see. Thank you everyone that is watching right now. We are here just to try to keep everybody updated in real time of what is going on that we are seeing. Just checking again, 30 miles per hour that the storm is moving. Trying to get the leading edge right here, moving southeast here. Let's see. So it's popped up some names. This is an estimation of where the storm may be moving into right now. This one behind some of these little cells up in front of it, with a lot of the lightning and some of the hail that we've seen in a place that is warned right now for some for a severe warning right now. You can see Tivoli Elementary School around 8:28. Welder Flats Wildlife Management, 9 o'clock. The Matagorda Island National Wildlife Refuge, 9:12. With this moving, if it continues to move in this same direction here, you know, we saw the one that passed through Refugio move more south, so the storm could still take a turn here. But let's look at the hail associated with this one. See, a lot smaller there. You can really just see it passing to the southwest of Victoria. The reflectivity still looks high when we view it on the radar here. Getting back north. Of course, this looks really messy with this storm. Lots of rain falling. The green, the yellow, more on the lighter to moderate side of rain. The brighter the color, the stronger the storm, the heavier the rain. The pink there is where you see possibilities for some hail, some higher reflectivity there. Also, the higher reflectivity, the brighter colors, is where you're seeing a lot of that lightning come through as it continues to move. Just clip Refugio County there. It doesn't look like that's going to make it towards Corpus Christi unless it took a dramatic turn there. But we've got some additional cells entering into Live Oak County here. Also moving in a southeast direction, although they look to maybe have a little bit more of an easterly motion. Kind of hard to tell sometimes here. So the concern for this is it going to hit Corpus Christi? And again, none of these storms here are severe warned. It looks like just this little one by Three Rivers is showing some lightning. The one that was near Pleasanton had some lightning, but it looks to have weakened right now. So what I'm doing now is measuring out the leading part of these cells right here, or attempting to, at least to see how fast they have moved over the last hour or so. Yeah, over the last hour. They seem to line up more with each other. So this isn't going to be a perfect estimation here. But leading edge to leading edge here. And we're going to take the measuring tool and measure just about how fast. Saying around 20 miles per hour, that's an estimation here. But then if we were to use our 20 miles per hour tool, zoom back out, try to get a good estimation of how these are tracking to line it up with this. You know, here are some of the cities that are popping up. Again, this is just an estimation of these cells. They could weaken as they come into the area too. It's important to note that if they pass through the area that has already seen some really strong storms, then it's likely that they lose the energy, or that they can weaken when they pass through those areas, especially in B and Refugio that saw the really strong storm earlier here. But again, this is just if these cells keep on going the way they are, they don't turn, they're not warned right now for any hail or damaging winds. There's not a severe warning going on right now. Heading back south to look at this storm. Hey, it's moving more southeast, leaving the 69 E right now. You can see all that lightning associated with it. We're going to play that radar loop here. It looks like it's starting to move off of it, but still following that line. Again, being warned for wind speeds of around 60 miles per hour, gusts that is, and hail close to 3 inches, 2 inches and 3/4. That is around baseball sized hail, so extremely large there. You want to make sure that you are moving on inside. And I know this is a rural area here, but let's look to see. Gonna clear this.
warned for 50.
Hey, so we've switched back to the northern storm that we were watching that's moved southeast through Victoria. The warning box clipping our Refugio County. We've got winds around 40 miles per hour in the Tivoli area. Tivoli area.
Yeah. It's warned for 50-mile-an-hour winds, which isn't severe level, definitely strong, but it's not warned for the wind. It's warned for the hail.
That's around. It's being warned for a quarter-inch hail.
Okay, so quarter inch?
Or not quarter inch. A
size
quarter,
of a quarter.
quarter size.
Yeah, 1
Easy
inch
to
hail.
get confused.
Yeah,
Yes.
size of a quarter. So you see Ostwell there. Tivoli is also, here's Ostwell. Tivoli's up in here where that little intersection is. And so Tivoli's probably, taking on some hail. I've already seen lots of photos of big damage like in Portland.
I think we have crews heading to Portland.
Yeah, so we're going to get some of that footage. But these have been significant hail producers. I can't remember a time that I've been here where I've seen as many storms producing this large of hail in this part of the world.
It happened so fast in the 6 o'clock hour that I couldn't even keep up with the number of warnings that were popping up for it.
Yeah, so we're going to stay on these storms as long as we can, help you get through them. Ostwell, if you're watching, you're about to have the heavy rain pick up. There's likely going to be some hail coming into you. You don't want to be outside. I know the urge to maybe get out and protect the car, but it's getting really close. I'd rather your car get hit than your head if the hail is 1+ inch diameter. It's all moving pretty southeasterly. I don't see right movement on these storms currently. Have we checked the hail on them yet?
Yeah, the hail tracker looks a lot like.
Okay, so it's not overly impressive, but close to Tivoli right now. It's probably
half an inch.
Yeah.
1 inch.
Half an inch.
Half an inch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's our software. The Weather Service has this warned for hail up to 1 inch, and that's why that storm in particular is warned. I'm going to just set you up for success here. I'm going to load a view up. Now it'll always come back to there when you hit that. But wow, yeah, more storms, showers and storms moving into northern Refugio. Some showers heading toward George West. These don't look, they don't look severe. They don't look like there's hardly any lightning. One little strike close to Choke Canyon. Definitely heavy rain, but
I think they've weakened somewhat as they've moved.
And that may be the case because we just had 3 supercells blow through the coastal bend, so that probably robbed the atmosphere of some instability. Plus the sun has gone down.
Yes,
we've lost daytime heating. So good point. These probably are not going to be to the level that we saw, at the 6 o'clock hour, like you said, how it was such a quick ramp up.
Yeah.
But don't want to neglect what's going on over here in northern Refugio County, because Ostwell and Tivoli are getting it, and I know people send messages all the time from these locations. Sometimes I'll take the shortcut. Well, I call it a shortcut through Tivoli to get to Houston. Take the Texas Tropical Trail. If you've never done that, or if you have done that, you've probably driven through Tivoli. If you come up and go over the Copano Bay and then all this, lowland stuff, it sends you through Tivoli there. I digress. So just checking on the wind, the wind speed on this is, we're just going to pull up the velocity product so we can check on the wind speeds here. And this doesn't look like you were saying, Hope, it doesn't look anywhere near as strong as some of the other stuff that we were watching earlier. So 30 miles there, 30 mile an hour there, 20 to 30. And again, to reiterate, the Weather Service is not warning this storm for the wind threat. It is for the hail threat, which our software isn't terribly rambunctious about. We've seen much larger hail earlier.
And you know, the negatives there that popped up when you showed the velocity, that is obviously not negative speed, but
No,
that it's
yeah.
going towards our
The green
radar.
Yep. I always remember that. If you're a junior wood truck meteorologist, like some of us are, I'm talking about myself, being funny. So to know on the velocity product, we'll just do some education here. So the greens that we're looking at, and then you've got red over here. Here's our radar, right? So that's the radar site. The green is wind blowing toward the radar. So wind is moving like this. The red is wind moving away from the radar. So you remember that Visine commercial with, I don't remember who's in it, but the line is "get the red out." And that's how the red is moving away from the radar. So get the red out. Wind, we don't typically look at velocity product unless we're looking for really strong wind or winds that are showing rotation, which some of this was earlier, but nothing is even close to showing rotation. Well, something like that, that kind of catches my eye. So I'm looking at
Where you see the reds and the greens touch.
This
there.
right here is a little bit, it doesn't look like a crazy strong signature, but what this would be is wind. Well, I'm going to.
The other.
Yeah, I'm going to. So what you could have here, perhaps, is the red blowing away from the radar and the wind blowing toward the radar. Something like that. In that little sector there, just to the north of Ostwell and Tivoli. And again, this storm is not tornado warned. I'm just simply showing, an example of how we use the velocity product of our radar here. So I'm going to get back
Just
over to the radar.
Just because there may be rotation doesn't mean there is a tornado.
So almost if you're talking about strong storms, there typically is some rotational aspect to the updraft of the storms. And if it's not, then it's typically what's called a pulse thunderstorm, where it just goes up and then right back down over the course of 30 minutes to an hour. These clearly are longer lasting. They've got a tilted updraft. And sometimes they rotate, but not all of them will produce, tornadic activity. So we're getting off the rails here with that topic, but no tornado warnings tonight that I've seen. It's all been hail driven. That's been the primary threat. Ostwell, you're getting into it now. Another little indicator of hail is lightning, the presence of lightning, and you see how it's really concentrated. Just north of Ostwell. You're probably hearing really repetitive thunder if you're watching us from over there. And that's a sign that there's some hailstones in a thunderstorm.
Yeah, some stronger areas.
Yeah.
All right, I believe we're just going to leave this on a loop for y'all real quick, and we are going to step aside while we do leave this on a loop. But we'll be back to continue updating. Hey everyone, so we are back. Just hopping on to say that area that was severe warned in northern Refugio, they have taken down that warning. The National Weather Service has. So, and the other storm in that is moving its way through Kennedy County, that's moving out of our viewing area. So a lot of the threats right now are gone. Of course, areas in northern Refugio still getting rain, but they weren't seeing the hail that warrants a severe thunderstorm warning. So that's why that warning got taken down. So we are going to end this live right now. Thank you for everyone that was watching. Hope that we helped walk you through some of the things that we are seeing in current time and help keep some of y'all safe out there. That's what's really important to us and what we are going to strive to do every time. So we are going to end this live very shortly, and then of course we are on air at 10 p.m. If we need to, if anything warrants us coming back live, we will hop back on VMix. But again, we are on at 10 p.m. So we will see you all then, and I'm going to end this live shortly. Bye. Thank you.